What I'd say to them is that, keep doing what you love. So if you love a really strong physical practice, then do that. Always follow the energy of what makes you happy and what makes you feel clear and connected. However, in saying that, to recognise that there is so much more beyond the physical. And I think it's really important to embrace the physical, to love your physical body, to move it, to stretch it, to purify it, to dress beautifully, and just really adore the physical and embrace the physical. It's not that the physical needs to be pushed to the side, but to know that to stop there is like you're shortchanging yourself of a deep, powerful, beautiful experience that can't really be matched by anything else than really stepping into the place of being. Because in the place of being, you're connected to everything, and there's no sense of separation. When you're functioning from being, there's no judgment, so there's no inner conflict. There is acceptance of what's going on around you, and you're just more in synchronicity with yourself and with life. So in terms of that more physical practice, yes, do it, but know that beyond that, there's just it's like the tip of the iceberg, and then there's just all this rich reservoir of just deliciousness underneath it that leads you both to freedom and to self-mastery. The Amrit Method of Yoga is expressed as meditation in motion or the posture of consciousness, both really pointing in the same direction. So it's literally meditation in motion. When my students are new to the practice and they sign up, I let them know that this is actually essentially a meditation practice where you both are still and moving. And so the common thread is you hold that space of awareness, you hold that space of consciousness regardless of what the body's doing, whether it's still or in movement, whether it's in a difficult pose and your hamstrings are hurting, or whether your eyes are closed and you're just resting in your third eye. The thread is you're holding or being the space of consciousness that you are. And so if you can be that space, or if you can rest in that space, it means that your awareness is turned on, and it means that you're no longer being caught and triggered by all the distractions and influences that the mind hijacks upon you. So then what happens with that process is that you start to relax with what is. So if there is strong sensation in the body because you're holding a pose for a long time, your ability to relax with what is increases, which means that sensation actually reduces and you go into a deeper stretch, and there is more ease and more relaxation in the pose. And so obviously whatever's going on in the body is going on in the mind simultaneously, so both the body and the mind relaxes. So then what happens is when the body and the mind are relaxed, then you just spontaneously start to dissolve into the space of being, where there is no effort. Your effort becomes effortless, and you get to experience everything with a sense of, I suppose, purity, if you like, where it's not tainted by the filters of the mind, and it's in that space that you get to connect to your spirit, or connect to spirit, which is emanated through all of life. And one of the actually two of the main tools that guide you from the doing space into that sort of formless non-doing space is both witness consciousness. So you are just witnessing consciousness. You're not buying into that story, you're just witnessing it. And the other is through breath work. And the breath work moves from its survival instinct of breath in and breath out to the breath being a tool to monitor and master and regulate the fluctuations of the mind, to then the more refined step from there is for the breath to be infused with prana, life force energy, which is your connection to source and all of creation. And so, if you're listening to this, you might think, oh yeah, that sounds cool. But if you actually have an experience of it, nothing can compete with how profound that experience is, and how everything you've been searching for and everything you've been struggling with disappears because you've found that space. It's this place of being.